Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I am so sorry that I have been a little bit MIA this week and last. I've had family in town. It's been really busy, but I'm back, and today we're going to talk about some new... my cat right now thought he was going to take down the tripod. Anyway, we're talking about some new release makeup that's worth buying. These are products that I have been sent, mostly in PR, that I've been trying out that I really enjoy. So I figured that I would give you just a few of my recommendations. So I hope you guys like this. Hope you find it helpful. Let's begin. I'm going to start out with face products. The first is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. I really like this as a facial setting powder. I find that it's very moisturizing, kind of. It's just a hydrating powder. It's not the typical setting powder that's very dry and makes your skin feel tight, which is reminiscent of the rest of the Born This Way line. Everything's very hydrating, very comfortable on the skin, doesn't cake up on the face. I really feel like you can get away with quite a heavy layer if need be. Under the eyes though, this does have a bit of flashback for me. I noticed in pictures that my under eyes looked too bright, like bright, not in a good way. And when I packed it on under the eyes, I noticed it also separated a bit. So under the eyes, not a phase, but on the face, love the result this gives, especially as someone with dry skin. Usually setting my face is just a dream I have, but with this I really can get away with it. Another fave is the Benefit Boing Industrial Strength Concealer. They relaunched and kind of expanded their Boing concealer line. This one's my favorite. It's very lightweight, not a dry lightweight concealer. For me, a lot of the times poured concealers tend to be almost a bit chalky, but this one, nice and hydrating, really a fave for spot concealing. Blends out really prettily with the finger, and honestly, it doesn't give you that look of having spot concealed. Whenever I spot conceal, even if the concealer is the same color as my skin, I always notice that I have just like a speckled look to my face, but with this, it blends out really prettily and doesn't lose any of the coverage when you blend it out. It's also really beautiful under the eyes as well. My under eyes are probably the driest part of my face, and I can get away with not setting this. So on days where I'm going to the beach or I know I'm going to be outdoors all day, but I still want to look somewhat zhuzh, you know, I can just slap it on and not have to worry about it slip sliding or creasing. Ofra recently came out with some new blushes. These are new to me anyway. I have never tried their blushes. This one is a fave of mine in the shade Bellini. I really like these blushes because not only are they matte, but they're very gently pigmented, which I much prefer in a blush. I don't know about you, but I get a little bit freaked out when I'm in the store and I swatch a blush and it swatches like an eyeshadow, because I'm like, if I dare to dip into this, it's just going to be a wash of pigment that I'm not into. So they're very sheer, but you can obviously build them up. I have noticed when I build them up, they don't make my face feel tight, they don't look cakey, they don't make my face look hairier than it already is. They're just a really great formula. A little bit of the unsung hero, I feel, of Ofra. I just have never heard anyone talk about them. They're good. I mentioned this the other week, but the Makeup Geek bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. This one is for fair skin. There is one for medium and deep skin tones. Is my new everyday bronzer. As you can see, it's a nice yellowy base neutral, which is really flattering if you have a warm undertone like me. If you're very fair, it's going to warm up the skin very nicely. The undertone is pretty much the same throughout all of the three shades. The formula of this is, let me touch. When you touch it in the pan, very slip-slidey, very silky, but not silky to the point where it feels dry, like when you apply it, it's going to stick down and be patchy. It's very smooth, has a slight healthy sheen to it. Really like that they come in shades for all skin tones. Like truly, the medium and the deep are for people who are medium and deep. A lot of times I find that brands try to get to that realm, and it's just like, no. Moving into lip products before I bounce over into highlighters. The lipstick I'm wearing today is one of the new Bite Beauty liquid lipsticks. I'm wearing the shade Candy. These are a true liquid lipstick. I guess you could qualify it as like a liquid lip lacquer. Anyway, it's their exact formula liquefied. It feels the same on the lips, lasts the same, smells the same, tastes the same. I love this formula. I'm really into a hydrated lip lately. I'm kind of over the matte lip trend. The one con about this is that they are very much like transferable, but mostly into the mouth. I find that all of the shades tend to get on my teeth no matter how little of the shade I use, and if you apply too much, it will ball up at the corners of the mouth. So I recommend going in with light layers. Bite is notorious in a good way for being super pigmented, so you shouldn't have to build it up too much. I just went extra over the top because I wanted it to be super glossy. But overall, in my day-to-day, when I wear like the nude shade, this one's the shade Caramelized, I believe. Yes, this is the one I've been wearing in my day-to-day, and when I kind of just put one layer on and go out the door, it's very nice. It never seems to get tacky or overly sticky, but it's sticky enough to where you feel it on your lips and you know it's gonna stay there. I don't find that it bleeds throughout the day. It doesn't melt off, you know. I feel like when you wear lacquery products, glosses, lipsticks, whatever, over time, the more you're moving your mouth, the more it tends to spread in either direction. These really, really stay put. Too Faced recently launched a ton of melted latex lacquers. I absolutely love these. These are similar to the Bite Liquid lipsticks, but these are more slick on the lips. I find that these have more of a gel consistency to them, where if you do layer them up, they're not going to ball up on the corners of your lips or in your lip line or anything, but they will spread. They do that spreading thing throughout the day, so I still recommend going in with a light layer, which is perfectly doable. These are so pigmented. They come with a top coat, which just takes it to the next level and gives you a glass-like finish. I like wearing this top coat on its own because in contrast to the latex lips, this one is not sticky at all, but it's not oily. It's like so unique. For example, I've used this over 3 different colors now, and the little brush, as you can see on screen, is not yet stained. It glides over that really sticky lacquer and really just makes it have, like I said, that glass-like, very intense, high shine finish. It's also stunning, like I was trying to say before I went on a little tangent, on naked lips. It just gives them a very wet look, which I feel is really, really fresh and pretty for summer. Moving into highlighters, I have 3 in front of me. 2 are some new shades by Wet n Wild. I had not previously seen these shades. They are the colors Botanic Dream and Golden Flower Crown. These are both a bit of a duochrome. Botanic Dream, my brain keeps wanting to say Botanic Green, is a pink to violet shift, and Golden Flower Crown is just a straight up gold to yellow shift. These, I feel, may have been reformulated. The original Mega Glow highlighters were great, but I feel like they were a bit gritty, not glittery, but they were kind of gritty, and I felt like it really cut into their lasting time. They lasted quite a while, but not as long as I felt they could, whereas these are a lot more smooth. I feel like they last way longer, and they're just a bit more flattering. They don't have as much of that base pigment. It's really all reflect, which I'm really into right now, which leads me into my next set of highlighters, the Becca Light Chaser highlighters. I have all of these, and there isn't one that I dislike. My favorite shade is Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini. This is a peach with a really intense red/pink shift. I love these especially because although the colors are a bit wild, they are truly invisible on the skin until you turn your head and the light catches that duochrome. Even the darker shades, there's one, as you can see on the screen, that is like a blue-brown vibe. Really is so flattering because it's just undetectable until you're in that poppin' light. So I feel like these would work on anyone. There's nothing in here that's too chalky or too dark that's going to be unflattering on anyone. I feel like they're truly in a league of their own in terms of being a holographic or a duochrome trendy type of highlighter, and the formula very smooth, not overly oily, not overly metallic. They're just my fave. Lastly, I have some eye products. The first is the Catrice Liquid Metal Long Lasting Cream Shadow. I have been absolutely addicted to these since I received them. I remember telling some of you guys on Instagram how amazing these were. So you can really sheer them out like I have done today. I'm wearing the shade here, which is California Creamin'. Interesting name, but formula-wise, fantastic. So these, you can apply them how they look in the tube, which you can see in the swatches. Super intense, metallic, very much akin to the Cover FX drops in my opinion, but these dry down so lightweight, absolutely undetectable. They don't crease, they don't budge. You can rub your eyes and they will not come off. They don't crease on me, and I feel like I have the most crease-prone lids ever. Really cannot say enough good things. I today sheared mine out a lot and just blended it out with a finger. I feel like these also would work really great as a facial highlighter if you're in an intensely sweaty, moist situation, because they're not overly glittery and they're not going to budge, and you can really shear them out to just be kind of like a glossy reflex, so honestly cannot say enough good things about these. I have two Beauty Guru collaborations in front of me. First up is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. I rarely dip into Morphe shadows. I read a lot of good things about this palette, so I figured that what better place to start than this baby. So the good things about it, I've been using it on and off for like 2 weeks now in my day-to-day looks, is that it lasts quite a long time. I was actually quite impressed. Like I said, don't really use Morphe shadows that often, so I really didn't have a good repertoire of how long is this going to last, is it going to crease, whatever. These didn't really crease at all. The mattes, that is. The mattes did not crease. The metallics, while, let me spin this baby around, quite beautiful, you get quite a great variety and quite intense, are wet, very wet, almost sticky, so on someone like me whose eyes are deep set, they are like a no-go. I don't know why they perform that way on me. It's like they are not dry for some reason, but they are very intense. I just cannot, I don't really want to risk using them without some sort of glitter glue or something like that, but overall, I have been using the hell out of the mattes in this palette, and I am quite impressed. And lastly, the Nicole Concilio and Violet Voss palette. I had never previously tried a Violet Voss product, but I am quite impressed. The mattes in this are really soft and slick, a little bit different than the Morphe mattes, which I found to be really dense and like sometimes almost too pigmented. But at the same time, I kind of like that because then it gives you the control to either dip in really lightly and do something subtle, or really go all in and throw on a really intense look very quickly. With this one, I find that sometimes I do have to build the pigment up a bit, but overall, nothing's patchy. A lot of times with more silky or slick shadows, they tend to be more patchy in application, but literally none of these have a patchiness issue. The metallics are really nice, really hydrating, but they don't have that wet feeling like the Morphe metallics do. Overall though, really impressed by this, impressed by both of them actually. But yeah, that is today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and learned something about a new product. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll chat again in my next one.